What's the most savage insult you've ever heard from a child? My nephew Danny was staying with us for the summer. He's 10, autistic, and barely speaks to anyone outside our family. Most people assume he doesn't understand what's happening around him. Danny had been having rough days lately. New environments overwhelmed him. The unfamiliar sounds kept him awake at night. He'd retreat to corners, organizing his Pokemon cards in precise patterns, creating order from chaos. That morning started badly. Danny spilled orange juice on his favorite shirt. He melted down completely, rocking back and forth on the kitchen floor. It took 20 minutes to calm him down. I suggested the park, thinking fresh air might help reset his day. We arrived at Riverside Park around noon. Danny found his usual spot on the wooden bench near the playground. He pulled out his Pokemon cards, arranging them. His fingers moved methodically, creating perfect rows. This ritual soothed him when the world felt too loud, too fast. Other families filled the playground. Kids screamed with joy on swings. Parents pushed strollers along winding paths. The normal chaos of weekend family time surrounded us. Danny seemed content in his bubble, occasionally glancing up to watch a particularly interesting cloud formation. That's when the group of 4 moms settled onto the bench directly behind us. Their conversation started innocently enough, but their voices carried that particular tone I'd learned to recognize. The first comment was subtle. "Some kids just need more structure," one woman said, loud enough to be heard clearly. I felt my shoulders tense. Danny continued organizing his cards, seemingly oblivious. "Exactly," another mom agreed, her voice growing bolder. "My sister works with special needs kids. Half the behavioral problems come from parents who give up too easily." My hands clenched in my lap. Danny's card arranging slowed slightly. He was listening. "Look at that kid just sitting there staring at nothing," the loudest one continued. "Parents probably don't even try to discipline him properly." The group laughed, that cruel sound adults make when they think they're being clever. My chest burned with anger. These women had no idea what Danny faced every single day. "Some people shouldn't have kids if they can't handle the responsibility," another voice chimed in. Danny's hands stopped moving completely. His cards lay in their perfect rows, forgotten. He was processing their words, understanding exactly what they meant about him. I started to stand, ready to confront these women, to defend my nephew with every ounce of fury building inside me. But Danny did something that shocked me to my core. He stood up first. Danny never approaches strangers, ever. Eye contact terrifies him. Speaking to unfamiliar adults sends him into panic attacks. Yet here he was. He walked straight to the loudest mom and looked directly at her. For Danny, eye contact is monumental. "Hi," he said, his voice clearer than I'd heard all summer. "I heard you talking about kids like me." The woman looked uncomfortable, realizing she'd been caught. "Oh, sweetie, we weren't." "It's okay," Danny said with a bright smile. "I can tell you're really trying your best to be a good mom." The woman seemed confused but pleased. "Well, thank you. Yeah, and your voice is so loud and clear. I bet your kids can hear you being mean about other kids from really far away." Her smile froze completely. "That's so cool that you're teaching them how to talk about people who are different. My aunt says some grown-ups never learned how to use their inside voice or their kind words." The other moms started looking at their phones, suddenly very interested in anything else. "But don't worry," Danny continued cheerfully. "I'm sure your kids will figure out how to be nicer than you when they grow up." Then he walked back to his Pokemon cards like he'd just commented on the weather. I stood there watching this 10-year-old boy deliver the most devastating compliment-wrapped destruction I'd ever witnessed.